Welcome to Weekday Somatics. So let's find a posture, choose a posture that we can inhabit with confidence for the next half hour or 45 minutes or so. Maybe a little longer. It usually runs a little longer, doesn't it? And we'll start with an invocation. Divine Mother, Father, I thank you for your grace, for your power, for your blessings, knowing that we are all one with that power, one with that grace, one with that presence, and that it is a presence of goodness, of abundance, of peace, joy, prosperity. And I gratefully receive that and claim that for all of us gathered here. So it is. And let's take a few moments to tune into the natural breath. And as you do so, allow for your body to be deeply relaxed so that the breath is moving naturally and virtually effortlessly. Release all of the unnecessary effort. Let the body be fully supported. Whether you're lying down or you're sitting, whether you're sitting without back support or you're leaning against something, whether you're on your side or whatever the case may be, the breath can move on its own without your interference. And so this exploration, this breath exploration, is to discover the habits of unnatural and unnecessary interference with the natural breath. And it's a very powerful exploration. And it's also a very subtle exploration. So it is challenging for the mind because there's nothing for the mind to do here. And if you are finding that you need something for your mind to give attention to, then you, as you breathe, you can silently repeat to yourself with the inhalation, that, and on the exhalation, I am. And naturally, as the exhalation begins to elongate, just through awareness, not through any force of any kind, you'll start to notice that after the I am, there is a silence. And just allow yourself to be aware of that silence and to steep in that silence. And we won't do this for long, just for a few moments. Just allowing the breath to be satisfying and totally unforced. And then become aware of the contact of your body on the surface that you're resting on. And become aware of that support and consciously choose to receive that support by releasing all the unnecessary effort, letting everything sink downward, letting all of the excess energy, the strain, the tension, the hardness, the anxiety, the frustration, all of it, let it just descend down, 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 and perceive that connection all the way to the core of the earth. This is a two-way connection. So as you release and make the offering of all that is unmanageable and truthfully is not yours to manage, you just release that as an offering of gratitude to that which supports you. You can acknowledge that regardless of whether you're doing well or you're failing, whether you're happy or unhappy, whether you're successful or not, that this support is always here, always, always, always. You can count on it. You can rely on it 100%. Every time you check, the earth is here. The earth is supporting you, carrying you. And we overlook it, but in this moment, we can acknowledge it and give thanks. So make your offering and then receive that support consciously so that you can feel yourself and perceive yourself rooted, stable, abundant, aligned with the natural creative forces and cycles that support you in your life, and receive that abundance consciously, just with an intention. Just receive and give thanks for that receiving of that abundance as it moves and flows and heals your life, your body, your finances, your relationships. Just have faith that your intention is very powerful. So just to have the intention and open to that makes it so. And then let's have an intention for our time together today. And that intention, which you're free to have your own intention. I will share an intention for the group, and then you're welcome to augment that with your own personal intention. So my intention for us as a group is that this is a time of healing. This is a time of grace. This is a time of receiving. This is a time of releasing. And that we all choose to acknowledge and recognize that abundance that supports us, and that we are grateful and open to sharing that abundance together to magnify the healing power so that that healing power is shared among all of us. And all of our lives are touched in beautiful ways. Our finances, our health, our relationships. Okay, so let's do some movements, some very simple movements. If you're able to do this sitting, then I can give the easiest instructions just because I'm sitting. If you're unable to do it sitting, you'll be able to do it lying on your back. And actually the same instruction more or less will apply. So you'll have an easy time modifying it if you need to lie on your back. If you are sitting, if at all possible, sit away from the back so that you're not the back of whatever you're sitting on. So if there is a back to it, don't lean against it if possible. If not possible, then, or if that's not something you're confident in, then you can forget about that instruction and just be well supported. But do, if if you need to lean against something for back support, see if it's possible to scoot yourself back so that you are as vertical as possible. Just because if this movement, it's going to be helpful to be as vertically aligned as possible. Or if you're lying down, if at all possible, it will be best to not have a pillow under your head. If you need something under your head, it would be better that it is something that allows you to turn your head, because we're going to be turning the head. So we'll start by briefly reviewing the movement that we did yesterday. I'm going to take my headphones off to be able to do that. So the movement that we did yesterday, as a reminder for those who were here and for those who weren't, you'll need to know the instructions. We're going to bring the hands to the ears and put the index finger in the ear, but not in the ear canal, just below the ear canal, so that and then the thumb is under and behind the cartilage just above the earlobe, so that you're gently grasping from the inside and the outside of the ear, and do that on both ears. And then let the arms and shoulders come to rest so that you're not straining. So this in and of itself is quite a lot to be aware of. Many people have hold a lot of tension all through this part: the shoulders, the upper back, the arms, the neck, the throat, the ears, the head, the scalp, the jaw, all of that just from this little thing. So first, we want to be stable. We want to be confident. We want to explore what's here. So a lot can come up just from this. And this is all of the work that we do is subtle, because the subtle work is the most powerful and the most gentle. So don't ever overlook anything. Don't dismiss it. Don't ignore it. The messages are coming to us, and when we're open and receptive to those messages, then the healing is very, very powerful and rapid and lasting, sustainable. Okay, so be aware of whatever comes up. Be aware of the thoughts. Be aware of the memories. So if there's any strain, if there's any sensation of effort or tension or discomfort, be aware of that, and then be aware of the thoughts that accompany that. This is the constellation that I talk about. So you be aware of, okay, I experienced that sensation, and simultaneous to that sensation, I'm experiencing a thought. The thought may be something like, I can't, or it's too hard, or when will this be over? Or maybe an idea that I'm angry, or I'm upset, or I'm sad, or I'm depressed. Okay, just be aware of whatever comes up, and then be aware of any memories or images. And make the intention, have the intention to be aware without trying to fix it, to trust in the healing power that is graced to us. And the beauty of this is that you don't have to have a particular experience. You don't have to have particular sensations. You don't have to believe that it's working. You don't have to think it's working. You can be anywhere in any situation. Anything can be happening. And as long as you're willing, as long as you have the intention, then I assure you that the healing is taking place. And it's taking place in exactly the right way for you. Okay, so if you're ready to proceed, if you perceive that you're confident in your stability here and that you can release and be reasonably comfortable, if at least not uncomfortable, then we'll proceed with the rest of this movement. If you're uncomfortable or unstable or uncertain, or you have an intuitive sense not right now, then you can just rest. And that's important too. Know that resting is an essential part of the healing process. There's a lot of energy that flows, and we need to rest to be able to allow that to flow and disperse in the best ways. So for those who are ready and wish to, then we'll explore, we're going to explore, uh, I don't actually remember what we did yesterday, to be honest, but we'll do this. It will be, if not the same, it will be a variation. It will be very nice. So we're going to move the head, leaving the jaw relaxed. I think this is different from what we did yesterday, but we'll leave the jaw relaxed so that the jaw kind of remains in place in space as the head moves up and down. So the mouth is opening and closing, but the jaw is remaining in place. The head is moving, and we're just holding the ears here. And you should start to feel, especially if you have the intention to release, you should start to feel a lot of really nice release here in the ears and the jaw and the neck and throat. So it's a small movement. Don't make it exaggerated. You don't want to strain your neck. We'll just do one or two more and then rest. So when you rest, slowly bring the hands to rest. And be aware of the newness. The newness is really important. That's what we want to allow to integrate. So at first, our brains will tell us that new is bad or scary. And to get back, it will instruct us get back to what's familiar. But it's really important to receive the healing fully, that we do not indulge that habit. We have to do our part by remaining receptive to that newness and allowing that newness to integrate. And it's okay if this newness is something that you perceive as a little bit scary or a little bit uncomfortable. It should not be extremely uncomfortable or extremely scary. So we want to always play with the edge, but we don't go too far, because if we push too far, then we push ourselves into a stress response. But we want to just go beyond our comfort zone into newness, opening to newness, and then we allow that newness to integrate. And that newness is very, very powerful. It undoes the old conditioning. It opens us to new possibilities that we've never previously been truly open to. It changes every aspect of our lives. So just remain non-reactive, open, receptive, stable, peaceful, deeply relaxed for a few more moments. Let the face be soft. Let the tongue be soft. And then continuing to maintain that same softness and openness and newness, let's do a few more movements. So we're going to be doing a head turning, and what we're going to do is coupled with the head turning, we're going to bring the fingers to the lower attachments of the sternocleidomastoid muscles, which connects in with the collarbone and the breastbone. And we'll start with the right hand on the left. So the left collarbone, where it joins with the breastbone, and you don't have to have exactly the right placement. You'll find it as we're going. So you want to just bring those fingers there and have a firm but gentle placement of the fingers. And you want to kind of just gently, just very gently, it should never be exaggerated, but just gently, kind of gentle tug downward. The downward motion here with the fingers is just going to gently encourage and stabilize the release so that we're not pulling up as much. So most of us are in the habit of doing. We're in the habit of pulling the collarbone and breastbone up, and we want to release it down. So we're just going to gently have the fingers there, gently tugging down, and maintain that as you're breathing naturally. And then slowly, let's turn the head to the left and allow for this tissue under your fingers to lengthen and become more supple. And then slowly come back to center, continuing to allow for that to remain long and supple under your fingers. You might feel the chest and the shoulder and maybe even the back changing. And then let's turn the head, keeping the fingers there, turn the head to the right. And then bring the head back to the center, slowly, always with awareness. And let's do that a few more times. So turning the head to the left. Have the intention to let all of this tissue under the fingers soften so that you get really clear on what's bone and what's not bone. The bone is hard. What's not bone should not be hard. We'll do one more to each side. Remember, you can take a rest anytime you need. It's not about how many repetitions you do. It's about how much awareness you bring and how much intention you bring. So the intention is to release and soften all the unnecessary effort. And then slowly release the hand. And we'll take a moment here to allow that to integrate. So just be aware of the newness and don't indulge the habit to reassert the familiar sensations or experience or posture. Just let the newness remain and be aware of the whole body, be aware of your support, and continue to maintain that awareness of that support so that you release all that's unmanageable for you and you receive that support, that stability. It will be very helpful during the integration process to maintain that awareness of that support. Let the face be soft, let the tongue be soft. And then let's do the mirror of that. So we'll bring the left hand to the right collarbone and breast area where the right collarbone meets with the breastbone. Same thing, just put the fingers there and just gently, just a gentle pulling down. Should not be strenuous. And then we'll turn the head slowly to the right. letting that tissue lengthen and soften. So be aware of what you need to release and let go of in the throat, in the tongue, in the face, in the shoulder, wherever you might notice it. Just release and soften. Let that tissue lengthen. Turn the head back to center, maintaining that same length and suppleness. And then turn the head to the left. And then back to center. And we'll do a couple more at your own pace. So right and center and left and center. And remember, you can take a break whenever you need. Should never be strenuous. Don't try to endure anything. Just take a rest. And then find how you can rest even more while doing the activity. That's the next step, is to always find out how can I rest even more while doing the activity, so that I don't get to the point of having exerted so much strain that I need to rest, but rather I want to discover how I can be at rest in the activity, so that the activity is non-strenuous, the activity is pleasurable. Let the face be soft and let the tongue be soft. The softer the tongue and the face, the easier it will be to release under the fingers. And then when you're ready, you can release the hand, and let's again take a few moments to allow for this to integrate. So just be present. Stay with the experience as it is. Don't make any adjustments, but do allow for any further release that's necessary, so that you're not straining or struggling. Okay, for this next part, as all parts, it's important that you are confident in your stability, in your ability to surrender and be present. So make sure that you're not straining. If you do need to make any adjustments to your posture, then you may do so, but do so consciously, so that you're choosing support. And choose one thing that you're ready to let go of. One limiting belief, one limiting habit, one pattern in your life that you're ready to let go of. And be clear that it's something you're truly ready to let go of. Don't overreach. If you overreach, you say, well, I really want to be ready to let go of it. That's different. And that will be too much. It will introduce too much of a destabilizing effect in your life, and you'll struggle with that. So allow yourself to just intuitively recognize what is this one thing that I'm ready right now to let go of, to release, to no longer be energizing this limitation, this falseness, this lie, this pain. I'm ready to let it go, whatever that may be. Could be something related to your physical health, could be related to your finances, could be related to relationships, could be anything. Something that you're ready to let go of. Now, you may not yet know how to let go. So don't worry about that. Just something that you know in your heart you're ready to let go of. That you actually are ready to start to have a new vision. And in order to have that new vision, you have clarity that you must be willing to let go of this limitation. So just whatever that is. And if for some reason you are not clear on what that is, then that's okay. It's okay as well. There's no pressure. Whatever happens for you, whatever your experience is absolutely perfect. You can know and trust that healing is taking place for you. So whatever it is for you that you are ready to let go of, become aware right now. And you don't have to work hard at this. It just happen naturally. Just have the intention to be aware right now of that complex, that constellation that supports and holds that limitation in place. The thoughts, the memories, the sensations. Become aware of the whole constellation. Become aware of the meaning that you have given to it. Become aware of the evidence that you have to support that. Become aware of the whole of it. And continue to just shine the light of awareness. You don't have to see anything in particular. You don't have to have any particular experience. You don't have to believe that it's working. You could even believe it's not working. You could believe that you're not able to do it, and it doesn't matter. It's still working. Your intention is enough. Just have that intention to be aware at whatever level you need to be aware of that entire constellation so that you can become aware of all of the parts and pieces that have propped up this deception, this falseness, this limitation in your life. And now make this intention to yourself. Even though I have believed these things, even though I have reacted in predictable ways, even though I have played victim, even though I may still believe to some degree that I am a victim, I choose here and now to release whatever is false, whatever is no longer serving. I choose here and now from this moment forward to open to newness in this area so that my life can be healed in all aspects, so that I can receive the abundance of goodness that is my birthright. And here and now, I release all of those thoughts, all of those beliefs, all of those memories, and everything else that I have used as evidence for my limitation. I invite that newness and I give thanks. So it is. Now just remain open for a few moments as we allow for this to integrate, and just be aware of whatever occurs. So you may experience anything. You could experience thoughts, images, sensations, whatever it is, just be aware. Don't look for it to be anything in particular. Don't reject anything. Don't seek out anything. Just be innocent and observing your experience. Notice the warmth, the tingling, the heaviness, the lightness, the movement, the colors, the shapes, the sounds, the images, whatever comes, just allow it to come and receive it with gratitude, knowing that cleansing, healing, and receiving of newness and grace is happening now. Just be open and present. And now it's possible that you've already received, in fact, it's certain that to some degree you've already received that new vision beyond your old limitation, whether you're consciously aware of it or not. And over the coming hours and days and weeks, you can trust that that new vision will be integrated into your life as a growing, blossoming vision, and also in action. And we can further encourage that by taking a moment now to consciously welcome and give thanks for that new vision and for the new guidance and our receptivity and trust in that new guidance, so that we know and trust that our lives are guided in good ways, in alignment with a greater, higher truth, a truth that transcends our old limitations, transcends our history, and what produces miracles in our lives beyond belief. So just consciously choose that, consciously intend that, consciously align yourself with that truth, so that you can be in the flow of that healing grace, knowing that it touches all areas of your life in ways that you could not have predicted. And then again, let's become aware of the natural breath. So just tune into the natural breath. And allow for the inhalation and the exhalation to be totally fulfilling and totally unforced. So just be aware of any habits of artificial or unnatural turning or holding of the breath, and just don't indulge those. Allow the breath to naturally extend without any strain or stress. So if you experience any strain or stress, then just do less, ease up. Should be very pleasurable, satisfying. Notice how the breath is moving in the body and open to that movement. So rather than trying to control the breath, just allow the breath to move in your body and allow that to inform you of where and how you are holding unnecessary effort so that you can release that and surrender to the natural flow of the breath as it effortlessly produces ease and suppleness in your body. You can begin to experience your abdomen, your lower back, your chest, all of your ribs, your throat, your neck, your face. All parts of your body are made supple through this release to the natural breath, to a natural presence, to the natural flow of the breath as it cleanses and heals the body. And then again, become aware of the contact of the body with the surface that you're on. Become aware of that contact all the way to the earth. Become aware of that support. Become aware of the support all around you. And as you remain attentive to the natural breath, become aware of that flow of abundant goodness and grace through you and as you. And as you inhale, become aware of that grace, that healing power being concentrated within you, energizing and purifying your heart so that your pure, true heart intention can then shine forth as a blessing on your natural exhalation, allowing that blessing, that healing grace to move through your entire body, bringing healing to all of your organs, to your bones, to your muscles, to your connective tissue, to the skin, and radiating outward into your home, bringing blessings to all who live near you, to all of the wild animals and the plants, to the water and the air, to all of the humans. Consciously intend those blessings for all so that all may be uplifted, so that all may be healed, so that all may know love, so that all may know abundance, so that all may know peace. And allow for those blessings to bless all beings everywhere in all worlds through all of creation. Knowing that there is an ever present abundance ceaselessly flowing, that there's always enough, and that we are healed by sharing those blessings. Then again, become aware of your physical body. Become aware of the whole of your body from head to toe. Lightly scan from the top of your head all the way down, including every part of your body so that all of your body is included in your awareness. Really take the time, become aware of the shoulders and the upper back and the chest and the arms and the hands and the abdomen, the lower back, the buttocks, the thighs, the knees, the lower legs, the feet. Be aware of the whole body. Gently move your body in a way that feels very gentle and nourishing. You can move your fingers, you can gently sway if that it feels good to you. If you'd like, you could even allow yourself to smile a little bit if it's natural. Let the face be soft and have an intention of gratitude. Give thanks for this time, for these blessings, for this healing. Give thanks for this group. Give thanks for everybody here who takes time to be present for one another. It's a real gift. I thank all of you. Share these blessings with one another. Send that intention to one another, to this entire group. Again, give thanks to the earth for all of her support. And if you wish, you can gently rub the palms together and then place them over the eyes and cheeks. Or if you wish, you could place them on any part of your body that calls for healing attention. And then let the hands come to rest. And when you are ready, you may begin to slowly explore opening the eyes if you have had the eyes closed, that is. And as usual, do so in a fresh way, in a new way, so that it's not mechanical and so that you can do it with such awareness that you don't disturb anything, because we've really cultivated a profound healing energy and stabilize that here in the body and in the mind. And we want to continue to allow that to stabilize and deepen even more. So let's open the eyes very slowly and with awareness. And if you need to take more time, take plenty of time. There's no rush, at least not from my end. It's really important to allow this to integrate, because otherwise we're too up and down. We become very, um, bring in a lot of elevated energy. We release, there's a lot of cleansing, releasing, and then we stabilize, but we also need to continue that stabilization, so that otherwise it's too much contrast. We have this really rich inner experience, very expansive, very pure, very blissful, very wonderful. And then if we don't take the time and put our intention into stabilizing that outward into our worldly lives, then what happens is there's too much contrast. Our inner experience, at least momentarily, is blissful. Our outer experience, not yet. And that contrast can provoke some agitation. And ultimately, we're still bringing that healing into our manifest lives, but maybe not even maybe, definitely not as much as it's possible um, if we were to consciously choose to integrate. So what does that mean? It means, one, slowly opening the eyes. Two, it means acknowledging the contrast and choosing what it is that we want. So rather than being dismayed by what we perceive out there, we have to remember that what I'm perceiving out there is the manifestation of my past belief, my past habit, my past indulgences, my past ignorance. And so rather than allowing that to dominate, what we are doing is instead we're choosing newness. So just as we allow for the movement to integrate by being still with awareness, so too we allow this entire process, the inner process, to integrate outward by remaining still and truthful to what it is that we discover inwardly. So through the process, we discover that, wow, I have this amazing power. I have this power to surrender. I have a power to cultivate faith. I have a power to choose my true heart desire. I have a power to choose a subtle posture. I have a power to be aware. I have a power to release through intention. I have a power to choose goodness. I have a power to choose love. We discover all of these amazing powers, and they're very, very real powers. And then we want to make sure that those powers can actually become integrated into our manifest lives. And the way to do that is the same process uh, as we use with the movement. So we move with awareness, we move slowly, and then we pause and really allow for that to integrate. We allow for that to integrate by being aware of the old habits, being aware of the newness, and choosing the newness over the old habits. And so in the same way, we slowly open the eyes and so that we can remain aware of the newness and continue to choose the newness. Because when we open the eyes, what happens? So much more stimulation, and all of what we're seeing, as I've already said, is the uh, expression of our past choices, our past beliefs, our past habits. And all of that can actually be completely transformed instantly. In fact, it is transformed instantly through the process that we engage with here. However, it's transformed instantly inwardly, and then to allow for that to manifest outwardly, we have to give some time, and then we have to continue to affirm what is true. So an affirmation, okay, is not the idea of an affirmation. The popular idea of an affirmation is to just say what you want. But oftentimes there's too big of a gap between what we think we want and what our inner experience is. So I think I want $1 million, but if my inner experience is one of poverty, then that's too big of a gap. So I have to first discover the inner abundance. When I discover the inner abundance, then I want to manifest that outwardly. Well, in order to manifest that outwardly, I have to continue to choose that inner truth. So I become aware of that inner abundance through the process, then slowly open the eyes, and then recognize, okay, there's contrast, but what I'm seeing that's in contrast with this newness within is my old habits. And so rather than going to war with them or being dismayed or becoming fearful or angry or impatient, I continue to choose this inner newness. So I just remain restful within and aware of that inner newness. And at first it seems so tenuous, but the more that we choose it, the more that it becomes expansive and stable within us, so that now that begins to flow with greater confidence. And bit by bit, day by day, we start to have evidence in our manifest lives. At first we say, oh, that's just coincidence, or that's just luck, or that's, so those kinds of things happen. They even happen to poor victim me, but it won't last. But if we continue to choose that inner newness, then what happens is bit by bit, we start to see, oh, that's happening more and more, more and more in my life. I'm having evidence of that abundance. I'm more and more, I'm having evidence of that ease in my body. More and more, I'm having evidence of my capacity to be at peace. More and more, I'm having capacity to trust in goodness. More and more, I'm seeing evidence of other people confirming that. Other people are reflecting that to me. My finances begin to reflect that to me. My physical health begins to reflect that to me. And we just do that very slowly so that it's easy to integrate. It's sustainable. We don't want any big dramatic things. Big and dramatic sounds good, but it's not sustainable. Okay. So slow, gentle, steady, stable, loving, kind, generous, and all first and foremost for yourself. Have the courage to love yourself. Have the courage to love yourself so much that you'll actually say that out loud. You you don't need to tell it to other people. You don't need to say, I won't take your bullshit because I love myself, even though that may be tempting. But really know it in within yourself and say, when you're in a space by yourself, have the courage to say that to yourself, to say, I choose to love myself. I love myself. Today I will act in accordance with that self-love. Today I choose to nourish myself. Today I choose to be kind to myself. Today I choose to be gentle with myself. Today I choose to see good within myself. And then remember, and then act in accordance with that. So all of the things that I usually suggest flow from that, right? So when I know that I choose to love myself, regardless of what my habits and my beliefs and my past might be, because we've got a lot of baggage, a lot of reasons why we think it's not okay to love myself. But regardless of that, it's okay that those things still come up. But regardless of that, I choose to love myself. Even though I have a thought that arises that I'm not worthy, I choose to love myself anyway, because what can heal unworthiness other than love? And if we won't choose it, who will? So we choose that, and then we choose to act in accordance with that. And that means being attentive to ourselves, to our needs. So what do I need in this moment? Do I need physical nourishment? Okay, let me eat well. Let me nourish my body. Let me give myself good nutrition. And that's not something that can come from outside. Ultimately, it has to come from the clarity within ourselves, because what one person says and is not necessarily what's right for you. So whatever is going to nourish you, you trust in that. Trust in that intuitive guidance. And if you need some basic guidelines, sometimes we do. Sometimes we need some basic guidelines. Make sure you're eating enough. Okay. Probably for many people, it's more than you think. And make sure that you're blessing your food and that you're blessing your body. If you do those things, and you choose to sit to eat, that's also really helpful. Choose to sit to eat and make it a ritual of self-care. Say to yourself, I choose this time. I choose to take this time, this 30 minutes, to sit and relax. So don't, make that a choice if it's not stressful for you. But if if it's stressful, don't do it. But if you can do it in a non-stressful way and actually make that a ritual, a choice, light a candle, turn on some music if that's supportive for you. Not like not something that will distract you, but something like beautiful. If you can look at something pleasant while you're eating, all the better. And then be present and choose to relax. Choose such an important thing. If you want to receive that nutrition, then choose to relax. That's how you receive it. You can use these tools, just tune into the natural breath, let go, release, feel connected to the earth. And then have the intention, I choose to receive this nourishment with love. I choose to receive these blessings. Thank you. Give thanks to your food, give thanks to this earth which provides it. And you'll see that these simple things, if you make them part of your daily rhythms, they'll be huge. Just that one simple thing. If you just choose one time a day, you're in the habit of just eating and running. If you just once per day make that choice, I'm going to sit to eat. I'm going to relax my body. I'm going to enjoy my food. I'm going to give thanks for this nourishment. I'm going to be present as I'm eating. That one thing, just once a day, will have huge effects in your life. So the more of these rituals of self-care that you can sustainably make part of your life, the better. So make it, give yourself nourishment, self-massage, taking a nice bath or shower, making sure that you're eating well, blessing your food, making sure that you're have a ritual before bed. Have a ritual before bed. If you have any trouble with bed, have a ritual before bed where you take that time to care for yourself so that you can shift into that restorative mode. Try lying down on the floor, giving yourself a gentle massage on the chest and on the abdomen. Give yourself a whole body massage, just gently massage your whole body. Give awareness to the breath and make a choice to consciously release everything from the day. I release everything from today. I trust that today has been perfect. I receive all of the lessons. I give thanks for all of that, and I release all that's unnecessary. I'm receptive to the restorative power of this blessed sleep that I'm about to partake in, and I'm grateful for tomorrow and all the gifts that it brings. If you can do that, you'll see it will just help to integrate and stabilize all of these things. Don't feel pressure. Like, I know many of you are busy, so don't feel like you have to do all of these things. But to the extent that you can, and that you can feel good about it and it's sustainable, add them in a little bit at a time, and you'll see your whole life will be transformed. You'll be happier. Everything will become easier. You'll have less stress. Your relationships will improve. Not that everything's going to be like easy peasy. Challenges come. But really, my main point with this is that we take this time every weekday, and it's so powerful. There's tremendous amount of energy and healing that comes through these meetings. And then in order to really receive the benefits to the maximum and to have that functioning in the smoothest way possible in your life, have these other rituals of self-care, pausing, noticing, being present, giving gratitude, genuine gratitude, nothing like mechanical, but just to really start to cultivate that presence, that awareness, that thanksgiving, that self-care, self-love, self-nurturance. That's how all of this power begins to integrate in a smooth and beautiful way in your lives. And I promise you, you'll see it. You'll see it in miraculous ways. Really, truly, things will start to happen in your life, and you'll think, "Wow, it's like a whole other level," and that will start to be commonplace. Okay. So thank you all for being here. I'm going to end the recording of the formal inquiry now.